Good morning, my friends. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live, episode 495. I tell you, we are screaming our way towards the wonderful, awesome, and amazing 500th episode. Can you believe it? It's completely ridiculous. So a few things that I wanted to talk to you about today. I've been spending some really cool time with some clients this morning, and they'd actually asked me some really awesome questions. And so I thought that I would share a little bit of that stuff with you. Now, good morning. Let me know. I don't know why Facebook is not telling me who's here. Who's here? Who's here? Let me know. Say hello. Say hello to me. I would love to say hello to you. All right. Looks like we're working. That's not in there. I don't know why that's not working over there. Where are the things? Okay. We're just going to roll. I can't find the information that I was looking for. So today we are talking all things the universal algorithm. Hello, Chris. The comment worked. Yay, I can see that there are like other people on. There's half a dozen more people on and it's not showing me your names. Hey, Catherine. I don't know why it doesn't come up when we start. I think Facebook are changing the things. It's really annoying, but good. Let's hope it's an improvement. So I wanted to talk to you today about the universal algorithm, and where this came up. I was talking with some clients today and yesterday actually about things around the way that our focus works. Hey, Sandy, how are you? So the way that our focus works, and the way that, in my view of the world, the way that manifestation works, the way that everything works, pretty much. It's common with everything. What we focus on is what we get, right? To the exclusion of everything else. Now, if you've done any kind of energy work, training, reading, anything like, or you've been involved or thinking about manifesting, you will have heard that you would have heard that before. The best example I can give you of this working, it's where if you need to go and get a new top, right? And you've got your wardrobe is filled with black tops and you're like, all right, I need to go to get a new top. And then you walk into the store and you gravitate straight over to the black tops, because what we focus on is what we get, and we tend to distort or just don't even ignore. We just don't even see the other stuff in there because we are so focused on getting what it is that what we're focused on, right? Consciously or unconsciously. So when you are going, all right, well, this is what I really want to create. This is what I really want to do. Or you're coming into, oh man, I'm sick of not having anybody comment on my stuff. I'm sick of this not working. I'm tired of not making the money that I want. I'm really tired. All the people are complaining. All my clients are whinging, horrible people. Like, I don't know why I'm doing this. If you're really focused on the negative, then what happens in a universal way, you will keep seeing more and more of that. And it's the same with the positive stuff. You'll keep seeing more and more and more of that. So when we think about what we want, if you imagine that there's like all of these little, I'm sort of like visualizing these little stars, right? Like going like sparklers, like all the sparklers are going off and they're going out there doing the thing, trying to bring you back more of what it is that you're putting out there and bringing that into your reality. And that's the way that it works. The thing that happens is that the same thing happens on social media, right? So, and you guys will know this, if you've been clicking on things that are happy and positive and resourceful, then you're going to be shown more and more and more of that in your newsfeed. If you put more good vibe, positive stuff out into social media, then you will attract the types of clients into you that resonate with that kind of stuff. If you're bitey and aggressive and kind of angry and a bit slap happy, then there's probably going to be people similar to that will come back in, and that will be the experience that they have with you and that you have with them and that you have with social media. So the thing that we've got to get really good at is getting incredibly disciplined around what it is that you want and keeping your thoughts really on track with that. So I was asked in a group training last week, I was asked, why, like, when did you get so certain? Like, where did this certainty come from? Where did this faith come from? Because for me, I'm like, these days, I'm like, I don't need to know how things are going to happen, but I just know that they will. Like, that's what I'm relentlessly putting out into the world, into the universe, that I'm just going to show up. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to do my part, and everything else is going to work. It just has to. It might not come back in the way that I think that it will, but it was always working. So I was asked again today a bit more about this, and I said, well, for me, one of the things is this. You've really, I remember hearing this over and over again, and it didn't really make sense to me until I really kind of got it. But for me, it was like, you've really got to decide that there is no other way that this can possibly work, you know, or that there's no other possible choose your own adventure outcome. Like, the only choose your own adventure outcome is one of positivity, or one of you getting what you want, you getting to where it is that you want to be, reaching the people that you want to help, and doing everything like that. And so for me, it's really been about me building that muscle, not just my arm muscles, which are growing, which I'm really, really happy with. It's not just about growing your physical muscle, but growing the muscle of discipline around how you really focus on the end game of what it is that you want. Now, most people will say to me, oh, I want to make more money. I want choice, I want freedom, I want to go out there and help a lot of people. And it's really common. Like, you've all probably said the same things. That's why you're here, because that's what I want, right? I want more money, I want more freedom, I want more choice, I want to help more people, I want to create a bigger impact. I want to do more of what it is that I do in the world with more people, because I know that if I'm doing more of that, then you're out there able to do more of that for your people. And so we've got this really, really awesome kind of like ripple of transformation that happens. And it's just really amazing. Like, it changes the whole entire world if you allow it to, and if you think about it in that way. But what we tend to get caught up in is, well, things aren't working right now, or I'm not making the money that I want to make, or I haven't had enough people, or I haven't had the people that I wanted in a group program or in a program or in a training or in a one-on-one. I haven't had the people, and like, what's wrong with me? And so what happens is that all of those sparklers of inspiration, motivation, focus, everything that goes out into the universe is kind of like you've just shat all over them, right? And they almost like do like you know how cells die in our body? Our cells just kind of like, they can turn off, and that's what creates aging and things like that. So when that cell dies, it can no longer do what it needs to do. So if you imagine that your thoughts that become things, your thoughts are out there going out there, and you're focused on what you want, and then doubt kicks in, and you let that live for a minute, a millisecond, and 5 minutes, a week, a day, a month, whatever. You know, that kind of like turns off all of those little things that are out there going and doing the work for you. They just kind of go like, and they're dead. Like, they can no longer do the thing. They can't do the work that they're supposed to do anymore. So you've got to get really, really focused on staying in tune with what you want, taking the next required action in order to get moving and to get things happening. I was asked today, it was an interesting question. We had a hot seat call, and there was one person turned up for the hot seat. It was really cool until a little bit later. And we were having this conversation, and basically I was like, I'm here to do whatever it is that you need help with, right? Or anything that you want to ask, anything that you want to know, I'm completely open book, which is how I am with you guys as well. But she said, all right, so, what do you do when you get scared? So it's a really, really good question, because to me, I still have days when I get scared, and I think there is a bit of a collective belief out there that when you've had some level of success, or you've made it, or you've hit whatever benchmark, whatever the benchmark is that people think that you have to hit to feel like, yay, I'm a success. Like, we still have moments of fear and doubt and being scared and anxiety and, worrying about different stuff. We're human. And so for me, the way that I answered this, I said, I just keep coming back to, and usually it works. I keep coming back to, well, what is it if money was no issue, if time was no issue, if, nothing, if I didn't have to have this working, then, and if I didn't have the goals and I wasn't completely hung up on the outcome of certain things working, then what would I be doing? And it always comes back to doing what it is that I'm doing right now. And so when I'm scared, in fear, worrying, doubting, I always come back and go, all right, why am I doing this? And to what end? To what end? Is it about me? Is it about money? And it's never about that. It's like, I just want to help people move, get out of their own way and be out there doing the thing that they would do. And so therefore, if I had $10 million in the bank, would I still be doing this? Freaking oath I would be. Absolutely. But maybe on a bigger, larger, wider scale. Like who the heck knows? So when I get scared, I'll often start thinking about you guys, right? True story. Because if I'm sitting here all up in my head around, oh, this is not there yet, I'm not here yet, and really living in that place of scarcity, which is what it is, then it's really hard to kind of get up and out and then do the things that you are here to do, to share your message. So that's that thing. The other thing that I'll do when I'm scared, so there's a few different things that I'll do. One is getting out of my own freaking way, remembering that it's about you and showing up for you. The other thing that I'll do is I'll grab out my journal and I will write down, all right, so what's going on? What am I sitting in fear about? What am I scared about? What am I worried about? Where are the kinks, right? So for me, some of the worry might be around family members. It might be around money. It might be around time. It might be around team. Could be around anything, right? And so I'll try and unpack it and unravel it. It's a really cool process, Byron Katie process, for those of you who may or may not know. And it's basically 4 questions. And they go something like this. What is the stressful thought? Is it true? Oh, sorry. You write out the stressful thought. Is it true? How do you know it's true? Who are you without that? How do you turn around that stressful thought so it's more around me than about the thing? And then who are you without that stressful thought? And so what this does is it kind of unravels your thinking around it. So we'll use money as an example. Like a lot of people get really worried about money. A lot of people get really worried about time. A lot of people get really worried about not fitting in or looking like an idiot or whatever it might be. So we'll use money because that's a pretty easy one to talk through. So if you're sitting there being like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared, I'm so worried about money, what if I don't make any more money? Then the first thing is, well, we know what the stressful thought is. And is it true? Oh, I'm really worried about not making any more money. Well, is it true that you're really worried about not making any more money? Well, then yes, maybe it is true that you're worried about that. But then is this statement true? And the way that I would frame that is, well, am I actually really never going to make any more money? No, that's not even true, because even if I made not one more red cent in my business, I could go and make money at a garage sale. I could make money at a different job. I could make money doing anything, right? So therefore, we can completely debunk this big overall general global belief, fear thing that we have rattling around inside of our heads that sometimes just kind of comes out to play. And this one comes out to play for me sometimes. It's like, well, actually, is that statement true? No. Okay, well, interesting. So the way that I would reframe that, the statement was, I'm really worried about not making any more money. Then there you've got is it true? Yes. Does it really have to be true? No. All right. So doing the turnaround. So I'm really worried that I'm not, it might be I'm not good enough or whatever it might be. So I can really turn around that statement of going, all right, well, actually, money is an energy. Am I really worried about not having more energy? No, I know that is a limitless resource pool that I can tap into at any moment, any time, any day, any night, any time of the time. If there is something that you need energy for, and you've got enough of a reason and enough of a push which is what we talked about yesterday, to get up and out of it, you will dig deep and you will do whatever it is that needs to be done, right? But we get caught up in this whole thing. So it's like, all right, well, actually it's not really true at all. And then the next question is, who are you without that stressful thought? So, there's a whole thing on our website that you can actually go through. It's free, that you can use the work. It's really powerful. The fourth one is, who are you without that stressful thought? And that's where it's like, okay, well, this is really interesting. Without that stressful thought of, I'm worried that I'm never going to make any more money again, I am showing up, I'm doing the things, I'm putting offers out there, I'm being relentless, I'm having fun, I'm playing, whatever the answers are for you, it gives you a way of getting around your conscious mind that is so focused on all of those negative little things. So, we talked before about when you're focusing on what you want, it puts out all of those things out into the universe, and the algorithm works to keep giving you back what you want. Then if you're thinking about negative things, the same thing happens. The universe can't discern in these thought forms. It can't discern between positive and negative, right? It's just the entity. It's just the thing. So if you're thinking about negative thoughts and they all go off and they do their little ant thing, pretend they're little ants, going off into the universe, going off and doing the things, scurrying back and giving you that thing that you're focusing on, then you're going to keep getting back all of that stuff, which is really fun, unhelpful. So without all of those negative thoughts, who are you? Well, maybe you're more intuitive, maybe you're more creative, maybe you're more excited, passionate, fun-loving, free-spirited, freedom, choice, flexibility, whatever. Like, what are you doing? And then the next thing that I will do, once I've kind of unraveled all of that work, this is if I'm sitting in a place of fear or being scared, for example, then it's like, all right, what's my next required action? Like, what's the next best step? What's the very next best step that I can do? And this is where you need to get yourself into a deep place of absolute trust, right? Absolute trust, absolute belief that, you know what, I am going to find a way to make this happen. And you go, okay, what's the next required action? Now, sometimes that'll be go and take a walk. Sometimes that will be journal. Sometimes that'll be, I need a fucking coffee. Sometimes it'll be, you might have this idea pop in and it's like, all right, I've just got to go and put that out there. I've got to go and make that happen. I need to do this. And then being relentless about going and doing that action. Now, sometimes going and doing that action might be going and taking a rest, going and having a sleep. It doesn't need to be an actual physical action where you're doing more, more action. It can just be like, what's the next best step that you need to take, the most aligned step that you need to take. And from there, I will just trust whatever comes up. And some days I've had days where it's like, you know what? Oh my God, it's midday. I just need to walk away. Now, that for me is really, really rare. It's very, very rare that I will go through this and rework some of that. But sometimes that's what happens. It's like, okay, well, I don't do it. I'm not being a... Something that I said on the call this morning, I'm not being a whiny pussy bitch sitting there going like, oh, wow, I don't want to do the work. Wow, things aren't working. I don't sit there being like that. So for me to kind of go, all right, well, actually, it's just time for you to walk away, go take a break, because, and I trust that. I'm not sabotaging. I'm not trying to get out of doing work, right? If you, and I'm not lazy. So if you're the kind of person that looks for ways to get out of doing work, to get out of being visible, to get out of showing up, then, maybe you've got some, some other things that you need to uncover, peel back and work on, right? But I know for me that the thing is not, I'm not ever trying to get out of doing my work, right? Or being the message or sharing the stuff or doing whatever it is that needs to be done. So just, be mindful of your own behavior around that. So I think once you've got all of that kind of down and you've got to be willing to then let go of the fear. If we think about it, when we allow ourselves to remain scared, afraid, worried, stressed, overwhelmed, concerned, confused, discombobulated, what we're doing is we're kind of hanging on to that thing and we're allowing it to give us, we're allowing it to control us, right? Now, what this does is it kind of feeds into our need for certainty. You know, so as humans, we've got 6 core needs, one being certainty. We need certainty, we need stability, we need some sense of security. But hanging on to fear, or hanging on to scarcity, or hanging on to that belief that we talked about as an example, like I'm really scared that I'm never going to make any more money, or I'm really scared that I'm going to go broke, or I'm really scared that they're not going to like me, or I'm really scared that I'm going to look like an idiot, or whatever the case might be. When you hang on to that, it gives you a sense of certainty, which is unresourceful, because the more you hang on to it, the bigger that thing becomes, right? And then that goes off into the universe and does its little thing and starts giving you feedback that supports that belief. Let me know that this is making sense, because this is so important that you guys get. What we focus on is what we get, to the exclusion of everything else. So if you're really wanting what it is that you're wanting, then you've got to be focused relentlessly on the goal of the thing that it is that you want. Now, I know from talking to hundreds, thousands of people over the years, my people, all want freedom, flexibility, choice, and lifestyle. And they want to be healthy and create legacy and do all of that stuff, but they all want the freedom, the choice, flexibility, and lifestyle. That's really why you started your own business. Oh, as well as helping people, right? So we help people. We still have that freedom, flexibility, choice, lifestyle. All of that stuff can come along with everything. Yet far too often, we get caught up in the trying something and it doesn't work instantly, and we just kind of let it go. And we decide that maybe actually you're just not worthy. Maybe you've decided that it's not worth it. Maybe you've decided that, you know, maybe you're not really good enough, or maybe you're not qualified enough, or maybe you're not smart enough, pretty enough, savvy enough, out there enough, quiet enough, jabbery enough, inspired enough, motivated enough, whatever it is. And we sell ourselves out. And we allow ourselves to settle, and we allow ourselves to go, all right, well, maybe it's just not for me. Maybe it was just a bit of a pipe dream. And I'm here to tell you that whatever it is that you want, when you finally admit whatever that is, whether it's about speaking on stages, creating, building wells in Africa, saving the elephants, whatever it happens to be, whatever that thing that you want is, once you're out of that survival mode and you've got that growth period of your business happening, and then you're able to go and have the impact in the world, we've got to be able to admit that that's what we want, and that you're going to do whatever it takes to go forth and get that. There is one reason. I'm going to say one reason that I am still here more than 10 years on. And that one reason has to be that there is no other option but for this to work. And I am relentless in my pursuit of that. Not at the exclusion of everything else, and not sacrificing everything else. I'm not sacrificing my relationships. I'm not sacrificing my kids. I'm not sacrificing my integrity, or anything like that. But for me, and this is the thing for you, it's like you've got to keep at it. You've got to keep going. 95% of businesses don't make it past 2 years. And I was sharing with another client this week that part of the reason for that is that so many people don't have the stamina. You don't have the staying power. You don't have the grit. And the reason for that is because your why is not fucking big enough. It's not compelling enough. So if you can work out what that is, then you will find the motivation, you will find the strength, you'll find the resources, you'll find the money, you'll find the energy, you'll find the support to be able to get out there and do the things that you really, really want to do. And so you've just got to do that. Really, that's really just what you've got to do when it all breaks down. Because when I think about it, like I've got that probable, we'll call it a probable future. And this is the way that it works, right? So if you imagine a tree is growing up, and you've got that trunk solid foundation, right? And then you've got branches going off in all of the areas. Now, each of those branches is a branch of the tree. And if you imagine that your life, your path, if you will, is you're coming up, And then you've got the opportunity to branch out over that way. That is a probable future. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure. If you follow down that path, you'll get X, Y, Z. If you choose this one, you'll get X, Y, Z. If you choose this one, it's X, Y, Z. If you choose this one, it's X, Y, Z. Obviously, like each choose your own adventure branch will have a different outcome that will happen for you. But I guess like the thing is that if you're not clear on where you're going, then you can kind of like go over this way and then go, no, that's not that. And then you can end up jumping and then you get nowhere, right? So if you really want what it is that you really, really want, then you've got to be so laser focused on making that happen and freaking going for it, right? You've just got to do that. That's what I was going to say to you. So one of the probable futures is that you go and do all of the things. Now, a lot of people are really motivated by that, by speaking on stage. Catherine shared yesterday that she wants to be a YouTube sensation, and of course, take over the world, like we all do. A lot of you will want to be best-selling authors. You want to be published. You want to speak on stage. You want to have millions of people following you, supporting you, cheering you, that you can educate, motivate, inspire, and help. Some of you don't want to do that. You want to have a really profound impact on your local community. Some of you want TV series. Some of you want Netflix shows. Some of you want, there are so many different things that people want. And that's kind of like the vehicle, all of those things that I reeled off, they're like the vehicle for you to really do what you want, which is help other people. At scale, right? That's really what we all want. We want to help people, masses of people, millions of freaking people all around the world get what they want, be better versions of them that they could possibly be the best version, be the best versions of them that they could possibly be. And that's why we are here, to help other people get there and to do that. But in this probable future, we've got all of that, and that's awesome. And that can be compelling enough to move people forward and to keep being relentless and to keep doing the thing. Other people have really high pain tolerance. I may be one of these people. So for me, I will hold the vision of what it is that I want really clear. And most of the time that's enough to get me moving. But other times I will move away from pain more, but I've got to be in a lot of pain. So let me explain. One of the things that I think about is if I decided to buy into what I called in my journal, whiny pussy bullshit, if I decided to buy into all of that stuff, if I decided to buy into the fear and the doubt and the scared and the overwhelm and the worry and the bullshit self-talk and that inner critic stuff, and if I really allowed myself to buy into that, then I would stop doing what it is that I'm doing. And then I propel myself a bit further forward into the future. And I'm like, all right, well, if I was lying on my deathbed and I had the opportunity to, or maybe not on my deathbed, but, maybe at a very, very old age where I was no longer working, let's say, and I can't imagine that happening because I want to do this forever. But imagine that I've decided to not work or whatever it is that I'm doing. And I'm looking back over my life and I'm kind of doing it, like I imagine that I would probably do a bit of a stock take. Think about the stuff that I did in my 20s and then think about the stuff that I did in my 30s and the stuff that I did in my 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and so on and so forth. But apparently I'm living forever. And if I'm at that point and I'm looking back and I'm imagining myself now, so third person, looking back now at the Nicola who's sitting here talking to you, except she decided to quit. She decided to stop. She decided to let that fear, overwhelm, doubt, worry, and really rule the roost. And I think, what would I be thinking? What would I be saying to myself? What would I be regretting? What would I be lamenting? What advice would I want to be giving to my daughters who might feel the same way, or my son who might feel the same way? What would I be saying to me of now? And the thing that I come back to is first of all, is you fucking idiot. What were you thinking? This was your dream. This is what you wanted. You were so close to having everything. Why didn't you throw everything that you had at it? Why? You know, why didn't you just go and do that? Like, I wonder what would have happened. I wonder how many people you could have helped. I wonder how many people you could have inspired. I wonder how many people you could have motivated. And, you know, for me, that is like, oh, like stab me in the heart that you know, what kind of example did you set for your children? What kind of example did you set for your nieces and your nephews and your grandkids and your siblings and cousins and, you know, everybody else? You know, really, are you really going to let this fear, this bullshit rule the roost, or are you going to do something about it? You know, why aren't you throwing everything at it? And that for me, like going down into that probable future is just like going, wow, fuck me. That sounds really shit. I don't want to, the thing that I don't want anybody to ever say is that I half-assed something or that I didn't play it full out. Most of all, I don't ever want to look back at myself and say, you really played half-assed. You really didn't play full out. You know, you really didn't give it your all. And so if I think about that, I'm like, holy crap, like I've really got to do something different. And that moving away from pain for me is just like, bang, right, what do I need to do? How do I need to show up? Who do I need to help? How am I going to make this happen? What's my next required action? How do I do more of that? So what it does is it gives me two polarizing potential futures. And for me, like I said, some people will be more geared towards moving faster to get what they want. Other people are more geared to moving faster to get away from what they don't want. You've just got to work out what it is for you. So, you know, that's that. And I think that the best thing that I've ever done has been making sure that I've got people around me who get it, making sure that I've got mentors, making sure that I've got really awesome supportive friends, communities of people who are really, really getting it and who understand where it is that I'm going. And I know that if I look at the people who have come through my programs and the thing that they've all said that they really love and has been so impactful for them has been having a community of people around them who get it. One of my best friends I met in a program kind of similar to this where, you know, we're both motivated and driven by achieving, you know, impact. So in light of all of that, the other thing that I wanted to share with you today is how I can help you really leverage either what it is that you want or get away from what it is that you don't want. And the way that we do that is in the Impact Academy. And as I was journaling, I'm so grateful because the other day I think it was on Monday or maybe late last week, I've been through this period of feeling really kind of blocked, if you like. I've been promoting Into the Spotlight. We've been talking about Visible Live a lot. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm ready to help people in a big way. What will that be? You know, so the thought form, the little ants that I had scurrying around out into the universe. I'm like, all right, you guys, you know, go out and do your thing. Bring me this amazing idea, please. The next best amazing idea that I could have. Hurry up, bring it to me. You know, I'm ready. Took a few days for it to come through. And I'm like, yeah. The thing that I really wanted to help you with is how you create impact from now and for the next 12 months. So again, like depending on whether you're wanting to create courses, programs, write books, do shows, whatever it is, grow your visibility to be able to get what you want, the Impact Academy is absolutely going to help you with that. What we do is we're going to work together for the next 12 months, and there's a lot involved in that. You're going to have accountability. So we're going to chat every 2 weeks in a group format where we'll go through, all right, what are you working on? What is it that you want? What do you really need? Okay, you know, marching orders like the ants, you get your marching orders and off you'll go do the thing. I'm going to deliver a training every month. So you'll get a training video every month and then we'll be working on that. There's going to be things around marketing, there'll be things around lead generation because that'll be important. But also the first thing that we're going to work on is you becoming so confident and certain in yourself so that you know exactly who you are, you know exactly why you're here, you know exactly what you stand for, what you stand against, and so that you can use that in a really powerful way while you're getting yourself out there. Now, this doesn't matter. This is applicable for you whether you're currently invisible online and you're wanting to grow your visibility, whether you're already visible and you're just wanting to step it up and really be seen as an industry rock star, or whether you're just really wanting to shoot the lights out and create massive impact. So this is tailored to each person as well as being part of a group. So every 2 weeks we do a group call. You get a new training every month. And then we've also got quarterly focus days, so that like get shit done events that I used to run years ago that I completely forgot about until yesterday. We've got 2-day get shit done, 4 of them, hot seat events through the year, and just depending on COVID, will depend if they're on virtual or whether they're in person. But those get shit done events are awesome. We've had people create courses, make sales, do amazing things in those events. So we're going to be doing that. You get access to all of my stuff. So you get full access to every course that I roll out over the next 12 months. We'll have guest experts coming in and delivering training as well to make sure that you've got that nailed. So that is the Impact Academy. Now, a couple of things. This is probably not as expensive as you think that it might be, right? It's not $10,000 a month. It's also not the cheapest program that I've ever run. But the thing that I know, when you're working through this and you're going through this, I know hands down, like guaranteed, if you do everything that you're taught and you implement everything and you ask for help and you're open to coaching and you're all of that and you're a complete badass or a badass in training, because that's who you are, I know that you will at least 10 times your investment. There is absolutely not a doubt in my mind. It happens all of the time and you will be no exception. So long as you are somebody who is in integrity, who is adding really great, amazing value into the world, which you wouldn't even be here if that wasn't you anyway. So that's the Impact Academy. Now, if you're curious to find out more about that, get the details, then you can apply. I do not have a link that you can just go in and buy this from and, kind of go, oh, well, that's great, Nick, but I don't have the time to do that. Or, yep, that's great, Nicola, but I don't have the money to do that. Oh, yep, that's great, Nicola. I'm not quite sure that this is for me or that's not for me or whatever. You will get everything that you need in that 12 months and more, everything that you want and more, because that is who I am and that is how I deliver my stuff. So that's that. So whether you're invisible, already visible, you're already industry rock star, or you want to go beyond that, then this is going to be a really awesome program for you. So make sure you message me either onto my business page. If we're connected personally, you can message me personally and say, hey, Impact Academy, tell me more, and I will let you know the full lowdown. Something that is really awesome, and it's a super sneaky surprise that I've never ever done ever before, ever in the history of all things, that is going to be fantastic. One of the things that we are going to do in the Impact Academy is we are going to put together a keynote speech for you to deliver so that you feel really confident. We're going to write it, you're going to practice it, and there will be a competition for you to be able to deliver that to my audience. So to all of my people, regardless of what it is that you're doing, if you win this, then you will deliver it at the Impact Conference that is happening in the middle of next year, which I am so excited about. And I haven't told anybody about that yet. So that is the super secret, sneaky little bonus that you have got access to as part of the Impact Academy. So that's that, my friends. The big thing that I wanted to leave you with today, of course, is if you've got any questions about this, make sure you let me know. But otherwise, you know what it is that you need to do. Focus relentlessly on what it is that you want. Let those little ants, the universal ants, the algorithm, go and do its thing exactly like what Facebook does for you right now. Facebook gives you more of what you click on. Facebook and every other platform will give you and show you more of what you're interested in, and it will keep reinforcing that. So we need to do the same thing in the energetic world and in the thought form world. So focus on what you want relentlessly and keep moving forward and keep going with that. And that's really the best thing that I could say to you. So new standards, new habits, the ultimate success and complete all access to me in the Impact Academy is up and ready. So message me now, and we will talk about all of the things. Jess, I don't know where the link is. So on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. Get out there, go help some people, have a super awesome, fabulous and amazing day. Have fun doing all of the things, and I will see you very, very soon. The world is ready for your brand of awesome, my friends. Talk soon.